Wanted to start off by saying thank you for your time, and here I am to discuss with you planting your interest in a growing field. What is that growing field, you may ask? Hemp. Hemp is a plant that was once considered a required crop back in 1619, was also considered to be a cash crop by none other than Thomas Jefferson. This brilliantly growing crop is amazing for the soil. It helps, build up the environment in which it's planted, and it gives back nutrients into the soil so it continues to prosper for future generations of the plant, and it also has very low emissions. So it's a very healthy plant for the environment, which is why we're here to talk about it. So it's very good for the environment. This plant was once considered illegal, is now once again legal, as long as it contains less than 0.3% THC in it. Otherwise, it is still considered part of the Schedule 1 drug that the U.S. government has a ban on still. There's also a couple other restrictions as far as, depending on where you travel, as in the UK says you're not allowed to eat it. And then a very important one, however, is that you need a license to grow it. And as you can see from the chart over here, it shows you that it is a growing industry. It's something that has, even doubled or tripled depending on the country you're in over just a 2-year span, just from 2016 to 2017. So going forward with that, we can look at a hemp swat. One of the biggest strengths for the hemp industry is that it's easy to grow. It's very easy to grow. It has a very short growth period. Like I said before, it grows and gives back to the environment. It's very healthy for the soil that it's planted in. One weakness would be that it can cost a lot to grow. As any farm does, it costs money to run a farm. And as hemp is on the rise, it can be considered an issue considering the oversaturation of the possible market, therefore not necessarily making the end product worth the effort in the beginning. However, there are plenty of opportunities when it comes to hemp, whether it be processing on sites or just the fact that there are more regulations being put into place to help it overcome what's considered one of its bigger threats, which is an oversaturated market. With new rules and regulations, it'll help desaturate the market, put a harder guideline onto who can grow it, what the rules are behind growing it so that it's grown properly as to not damage any potential environmental factors, as well as help fuel the different parts of the industry attached to hemp. Hemp is also a great industry because it's got a lot of financial backing at the moment. Different countries give different opportunities. Here we're looking at the EU and its different amounts that it's helped to cultivate the growth of hemp through things like the Green Deal, where you're literally paid to plant hemp. And another one would being that New York State also offers, funding for either the research or just the planting itself of hemp products. Another option is that these different financial sources offer you planning tools, so you know how to plan your hemp fields, how to grow them, accurately, how to stimulate them to make sure that they have the right hormones to produce the plant you want, to keep the THC low. It tells you what soils you need to put them in, as well as the different greenhouses to build to keep them safe and thriving. And of course, once you're in there, you need a human touch. So that comes from the licensed growers. You are required to have a license to grow hemp, as it is a process that does have to be, checked in on, because like I stated earlier, it has to have less than that 0.3% THC in the product. From there, you have to get educated on it to make sure that you are growing properly. You know the growth cycles, you know the different hormones it needs to grow faster, grow healthy, grow stronger, and grow at that lesser THC rate. And it's definitely the heart of several industries to branch off from, whether it be CBD oils or cannabis as well. It can all start at the hemp product itself, and it opens up a variety of roles within the business as well, because there are different parts to a farm, or even past the farm, to process the different stocks and the fibers to make sure they all make it to the correct place to further not only your business but the businesses that you invest in along the way. Hemp is a very useful product. It's got many different uses. A couple of the technologies attached to hemp would be biofuel, which was originally started in its testing phases by Henry Ford back in the day. And biofuel itself is a cleaner option than, per se, corn as a biofuel, because it's once again very nourishing for its environment, and it's got a much shorter growth period than corn does. And you can take the seed oil and the fermented stalks and use them in both your biofuels, or you can transfer those over to other products like oils as well. And these are my references for all of the information that I gave today. So it just goes to show that hemp is a very big field and that it has lots of uses. We could really market on the biofuel side of it and build it up to create a mass product that would be both good for the environment as well as an alternative to the diesel fuels we use today. Thank you for your time.